Are you, one, an aspiring copywriter, or two, a business owner who needs to write copy and content for your business, whether that's emails, sales pages, etc.? If you're either of those two things, here is how to learn the copywriting and content writing basics. Welcome back to the Intrepid Emma YouTube channel. I am Intrepid Emma. I'm a copywriter, content marketer, and writing coach for small business owners. I would love if you join us on this channel. Hit the subscribe button to learn about entrepreneurship, copywriting, and content marketing. Okay, let's dive into today's video. You're going to learn my ABC tips to learn the essentials of copy and content writing, whether you're a beginner or you're looking to hone your craft. So, letter A, experience. So I'm not saying you can't learn a little bit about the theory first. You kind of need to, but you can definitely start by learning from YouTube like this. I have a video on my channel that's all about the #1 copywriting strategy to know for your business. I would start there. You can learn from blog posts. You can learn by analyzing and really studying how other people write their sales pages or their blogs. Really start with some essential theory and then start practicing. So practicing can be creating the pages for your own website. Do you have a home page, an about page, a sales page, or even a general services page, contact page, and maybe a couple blog posts? That's a great way to practice. If you're looking to write for other people because you're an aspiring copywriter or a content writer, try it on your own website first and then offer to help a friend set up the website that they've been hoping to do. Write their about page for them, see what they think. Keep offering to support other people. I think that's a great way to get practice in. What are the benefits to having direct practical experience? There's a few, actually. So one of them is just to get yourself off the ground. If you're an aspiring business owner or a new business owner, you just gotta start, right? You just gotta put some basic stuff out there on the internet to stake your claim in this space. So that can really help you just to get going. But also it can give you a better appreciation in the long run of how copywriters and content writers work. So even if you're gonna outsource, you'll understand better how to recognize their skill set, how to vet them, and also be able to communicate what you're looking for. Or you may not ever want to outsource and you really want to develop the skill for yourself. Best way to hone a craft is to practice. Undeniable. Another reason is that if you're aspiring to be a copywriter or content writer yourself, this is a great way to get testimonials and to build a portfolio, especially if you're obviously helping other people. You can ask them, hey, can I show this page to any future clients? Or ask them, like, now that I've completed this for you, could you let me know your thoughts? So ask for their feedback. Then if they give you some good feedback, tweak it a little bit and say, hey, would you mind if I use this as a testimonial? Especially if you do that for them, super easy to get testimonials from people. Especially if you're starting out with contacts, friends, they really want to support you in growing your business. Here's a special note as well. You can start implementing SEO best practices now. They may feel hard to learn. They don't have to be. I do one-on-one workshops with most of my writing coaching clients where we spend 1 hour focusing on how to figure out your key phrases. So where to embed the SEO in the text itself. And then we spend another workshop going into the back end of their website and learning, recording it so they could always refer back to it, and learning how to implement the technical steps, let's say, SEO. After that, they're ready to go, right? They can write anything that they need to and make sure it's SEO friendly. The reason that that's important, and I would recommend considering starting sooner rather than later, is because SEO and a lot of content marketing, you see the best results 3 months from when you actually start implementing it. So if you want to launch something 3 months from now, it's a really good idea to have SEO best practices if you're at least in part relying on web traffic. Now that you're practicing, it's time to learn a little bit more of the theory. Rather than just the basics, which you can totally learn from blog posts and YouTube videos, it's time to invest in a book or a couple of books. The reason for this is that copywriting particularly, not so much blog posts, which is content, but copywriting, sales pages, anything designed to sell, is persuasive writing. And persuasive writing does best when you have a structure to it. You have a formula that considers your ideal customer's journey all the way through to where you want them to go, which is to buy something, right? So there's a lot of psychology behind it. There's a lot of tried and true best practices. And I really truly believe that the best way to learn that, especially that comprehensively, is by getting a really great book. One really great book to start with is by Maria Veloso called Web Copy That Sells. And actually, let me pull up the full title. It is web copy that sells, the revolutionary formula for creating killer copy that grabs their attention and compels them to buy. Says everything you need to know. I'll put a link in the description to that. There should be an ebook format as well if you just want to get started right away. All right, and letter C, trying to do the YMCA thing, is to get a writing mentor or any sort of formal training as well. So I have had amazing writing mentors, and I have one right now as we speak, and the fact that they can look, an individual person can look in detail at the writing that you're doing is really, really transformative. You get really custom, personalized recommendations, revisions, feedback. It's very, very powerful. And it's one of the reasons why I also love being a writing coach, especially to women business owners who want to learn how to convey their message themselves in a way that is persuasive, that attracts an audience, and that really comes from the heart. There's a lot of craft that goes into that, and having a mentor who can tailor every suggestion to you is extremely powerful and honestly the quickest way to get results. To be honest, my own journey has followed this path where I started with experience for sure, because I've been writing since I was 8. I've been reading since way longer than that. Maybe I was 3, I think, when I started reading. And I practiced the craft of writing because I enjoyed it. Then when I got into a marketing department and really started to explore content marketing, I had a mentor there when I basically put myself forward as, hey, I want to start writing blog posts, please give me a chance. And I had a mentor there who's also in the department who supported me in just learning that one specific type of writing to a point where I felt extremely confident in it. That was really, really, really powerful. Now, as a business owner, I went back through that flow, right? Tried writing more than just content marketing. When I was there, content writing, I was writing copywriting as well, practicing and practicing, doing it for my own website, learning, getting a copy of Web Copy That Sells, for example, a couple other books too, and then working with my first mentor in the copywriting space, Jack Fish, who is still my mentor to this day, right? She's always at least a few steps ahead of me, and sometimes even if you feel like you know the craft reasonably well, having a second set of eyes, of expert eyes, can make all the difference. So I'm a huge proponent of following this order. Now, depending on your personality, it may feel a little less appealing to you, and I do want to put out there that you can get formal training at any point in this journey. However, I don't think it's key, right? I think especially in the online business space, it's about practice, it's about relationships that give you the chance to build a portfolio, and confidence really that is key to positioning yourself as an emerging copy and content writer. And then it's more about having an extra credential, definitely more of a learning experience, right? But having that extra credential that really helps you for certain types of buyers who want to know that you have some formal training. Especially if you want to work with corporate, you're going to want some credentials that are easy to recognize and more standardized. So one place that I would start is the American Writers and Artists Institute. I'm not technically American, I'm Canadian, but we're totally allowed to be part of it. So definitely being a member is a part of that. You get access to resources and community, but also just being a member alone can really establish credibility. And they have a course that I believe is called the Accelerated Copywriting Program. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. That is a pretty comprehensive, the basics of copywriting course that is widely recognized, at least in the online space. It is increasingly recognized, I think, beyond that as well. But if you're working with corporate, they may expect more traditional, like, university training. In online business, AWAI is strongly recognized, and when you complete the program, in that program in particular, you get a little check mark kind of symbol that you can put on your website that has their logo that shows that you've completed this program. They also have courses that are really specific to types of writing that you may prefer. So if you just want to learn about content marketing, if you just want to learn about web writing, that sort of thing. This one is really the basics of copywriting, where you can really extrapolate and learn in different areas. So I want to point that one out. It's a really good resource, but you can definitely shop around if you want to do some traditional training. Now, I'm going to add a note in here about SEO. When we're writing for the web, we want everything to be SEO friendly, whether it's your sales page or it's your blog post, and definitely your blog post, because there's a lot of content going out through there. Every single one of them should be SEO optimized. So it sounds overwhelming for a lot of people, but actually SEO is not, especially when you're just focusing on one key phrase at a time. So what I'd recommend is to learn yourself or to hire an expert copywriter, content marketer, you know, whoever it is that you need at the time, or someone who does all of it like me, and make sure that they understand the SEO best practices, because not all of them do. You definitely want them to. So if you're going to learn yourself though, one of the things that I do for my writing coaching clients, so women who come to me as their mentor to learn about writing for online business particularly, so whether that's writing sales emails or a sales page, or writing blog posts or their about page or their social media captions for the month, etc., etc. It's really quite comprehensive. One of the things that I love to do for them is to do an SEO series. So it's actually really 2 sessions, and we spend an hour going through how you figure out key phrases that are going to be great for your business. So how you identify what those key phrases are, how that can lead you to come up with tons of topics that you can write about or create on social media, and a second session which is on the back end. So the first session we learn how to find those key phrases, and actually we talk a little bit about how to embed that in the text. Second session is where we take that text that you've written, where you've embedded those SEO best practices, and you have a checklist to guide you to make sure that you have it everywhere you need it in the text. And in the second session, we put it into the back end of your website so you can publish, and we do all the technical SEO stuff there. Importantly, we definitely record that session so that as you're practicing doing it, which it doesn't take long to learn, but as you practice at least the first time, you can follow yourself walking through it. It's custom to you and your website backend, whether it's like Wix or Squarespace or WordPress, because they're all fairly different. We walk through that to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing and how to manage it. So really, really powerful training that, combined with creating really persuasive copy, really valuable content that's strategic, that's intentional, you can absolutely build a really meaningful audience, right? So an audience that is engaged with you, an audience that is full of your ideal clients, exactly the people who could buy from you, and nurturing them. It's so, so valuable. So having all these things in place is really the value of learning how to do the copy and content writing yourself, at least so that you can outsource well, and then implementing it with support, with theory, with revision, with intention, so it's all leading to your goal, which is to grow your online business, whether that is as a copywriter yourself, or as a product-based business owner, or as a coach, or whatever it is that you do. You want to make sure that all the writing you put on the internet is with the intention of supporting your business and getting you seen by the people who need you, who are excited about your business, who are going to be helped by it. It's key. If you want to serve people, they have to know you exist. So learn the basics of copy and content, and I will be happy to support you if you'd like me to be a writing coach too. So if you are interested in that, definitely click on the link in the description box below. We can have a chat. We can talk about how to help you best. All right, so those are the ABCs of learning to write, the basics of copy and content writing. So A, again, was experience, B was books and a little bit of theory, more advanced, and C was a mentor or formal training. As you can tell, I lean towards the mentor side, but I do think the formal training has a place, absolutely. And you know, I'm a member of AWAI, the organization I mentioned to you, so there's definitely value in every single part of this process, and I think you constantly flow through them, right? You're constantly improving that experience with that new theory that you learned from the AWAI course, for example, and you can cycle through. All right, which phase are you at? Are you in A, B, or C? Remember, A, experience, B, books, C, mentorship or formal training. I'd love to know where you're at in the comments below. Also, feel free to ask any questions, right? So some of this is a little bit personal, a little bit experiential. This is more of a conversational video, so I really want to know if you have any questions for me about how to learn the basics of copy and content that I may not have covered today. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos about entrepreneurship, copywriting, and content marketing. I will be so excited to see you next time, and take care.